VLJC, yeah.
Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Hello, I'm TiVoMike, and this is my best friend, the show's entertainment guru, Mike Warner.
Yes.
We are so excited because this is the 500th episode of SVU, and everybody came back. Everybody who was dead came back alive. Medical people coming back. The old detective's coming back. He's now follow the science. Liv's boyfriend, fiance, came back. Craig was back on Zoom because he's like, I don't want to get COVID. And he didn't mention Stabler, so I know all of y'all in Tweet World are mad, but it's okay. It was still a pretty good episode. Let's get started with today's right to recap of SVU.
Oh, I love it.
So, here we go with... how was I wrong? I was going to say, how do I not know my own password? That's silly. So silly. It's like me living in Burnside not knowing who was the killer. All right. Sorry. That was last episode. Amaro asks the SVU for help in clearing a convicted man's name and brings a figure from Benson's past into her life. Ooh, where do we begin, Mike? Where do we begin?
First off, I want to say, you MFSOB writers do not love Mariska Hargitay. I don't care what y'all say. Wait, sorry. You love Mariska. You do not love Benson.
Thank you.
Because y'all ain't trying to give her no love.
Ever.
She finally get a little D after a whole season of Tucker disappearing and whatever. She finally just get a little something because y'all ain't giving her Stabler. And then you make him...
He means dancing. She got to go dancing with people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you make him the... Because when they got this case all wrapped up at the 37-minute mark...
Thank you. I was like, that was pretty fast.
I said, hold up.
25 years and this is done in 25 minutes.
What did y'all do? Y'all about to hurt her so bad.
Yeah,
and you couldn't just let her hurt... You couldn't just hurt her that the guy she was so... No, you had to let her go all the way there and wake up the next morning.
Thank you.
And then say, well, Liv, you got bad taste.
And Amaro, man, he just rips the Band-Aid off.
Hold on. Can I say... Can I say... All right, first off, Finn, I love how we open the show. He's like, there's a guy in interrogation.
Oh, that was good.
He hasn't quite confessed, but he only wants to speak to the captain.
Yeah. He's one of those, like, smooth talkers.
Right.
I was like, what's going on?
Loved it. As soon as he did that, I was like, Amaro's here. Because it was just like... I already knew people. I didn't know exactly. I stayed away from Twitter. Once they told me Cragen was making an appearance, I stopped. Anytime I saw SVU, I scrolled past because I don't want to know nothing about the episode.
You want to be surprised,
right? So I love how
it
was Amaro, and I love how I knew it was Amaro. I love that he still looked like the dude from Mayans on FX because that's the show he's doing. I was watching Mayans, so I know it.
To CGI his beard off like they did with Superman. And
Superman. So I was like, this is amazing. But I love... Can I tell you... Listen, you know he's coming back to the show. Do you understand? Like, because not only is he coming back to the show, potentially, in my world, guys, no one has told me this. This is a Mike Warner first. An EG Mike 84 exclusive.
Exclusive.
Amaro's going to come back because of his degree in the forensics and them using that and Liv's Mariska started that thing that's going to backlog the rapes in real world.
Yes.
So for his character bringing up cold cases, the show he was on before he was on this was Without a Trace. It was always cold cases they picked up. So it's funny that she gave the little, oh, that's right up your alley.
That's right up your alley because I just saw you on CB. I mean, on your character.
Right.
Not on CBS.
I love that. It was like, boom, boom. I love the little nod to them. But then I love how that's what he went to school for. So now it's like you can actually bring him back and give him additional value.
Yes.
Because now he has a different skill set.
And keep him just as angry.
And that was my concern. I thought we were going to do this episode. And I'm sorry. I know we shouldn't play up to the stereotypes of the angry person of color. Right.
Oh, I didn't think that. I just
that's his character.
He's always angry.
But my thing is now they want everyone canceled or changed. So, the world today, it's if not our way, we don't want you here. So I was nervous that we're going to bring him back and do the very minimal of Amaro getting mad. So when he got angry, I was like, he's back. Like, listen.
When he said, physician, heal thyself.
Yes!
I thought when Halstead punched Void, I was shocked.
And this dude came right, and I
He
like
just punched her right in the face, and he goes, how do you like that, EP?
I like how she's like, I'm a big girl. And he was like, I didn't say you wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, his whole thing was, no,
I just said you got raped and your whole loving him and being the fiance was all wrong, and you're just a victim like everybody else. That's all I said.
Right.
She goes, that is not, wait a minute, I'm progressive and left-leaning. It is correct, you're right.
Wait, see, and that was my thing. So this is where the show... This is the first in the show almost messed up on Benson, because Benson is never the victim, right? She's always
she's always almost the victim,
right? So for you to say you are, and you
Called
were
her
played,
out.
and you were
when she was all in love, Goo eyes. That's the first one. He's like 93, Liv, but
no, white men just age poorly.
Yeah, he don't have the $500,000 a week kind of world where he can
right,
bathe in lotion and stuff.
Right.
It was quite sad just to watch a deterioration.
I like
but
how
he needs to move on.
I like how they did that. I like how we got that. I even like how he was like, "You need to defend me."
Right?
Did you get her to go away? And she was like, "No,
right.
Nigga, do you not know who I am?"
Yeah, I don't do that.
I'm listening to her story, and we're gonna check it out.
Evidence. Right. I have to now, because of you, I got to now recuse myself, and my detectives have to do it.
Right. Oh, it was.
That's all that has to happen. So of course the guy becomes a player, using his suaves and his caress, and I'm mad that they almost, not quite, ruined Ipanema for me. I freaking love that song. You are not going to equate that with a rapist. But I love that storyline. So, of course, the storyline is that he has... Well, really, it was supposed to be the guy who was innocent.
Right.
Which I have to talk about real quick, how he's an idiot. I was knocked out. And then I confess. Well, why would you confess? Well, I was so confused. I thought I did do it. Huh? That part, that's a plot device. That didn't work. Y'all didn't think that through. No one in the world. I have fallen asleep before on the couch. Watch a TV. And you wake up and you don't know what day it is because it's still dark. And you're just like, what time? And of course your watch is dead already and the phone's dead because it wasn't charged and all. So you just stuck. And you don't know what happened. You know what I've never done when that happened? Did I rape someone? I must have. Did I kill someone right now? Did I, looking around for blood? Did I shoot someone in the face? Did I sell crack? Did I do crack? Right. You're like, okay, no, I didn't know. It's just 3 a.m. Whew, like that. So that part was dumb. So you deserve to go to jail for 25 years.
They probably messed. But there was probably more to that.
Yeah, and they
part
cut
of the
it
case,
out for
right?
This.
Because it was just like, wait, cut. We'll just cut it here, and they didn't realize the last line he said was this.
It makes sense. Damn. And they're like, oh, they are writing in the episode, and they go, oh wait, this is the 500th one. Well, we don't want to start fresh,
right?
So the real story, as Mike alluded to at the 37-minute mark, was really let's pull the rug under Liv's fond getting happy feet. First, they kill her love when they were getting ready to go to, or they came back from Paris. Whatever it was.
And I wanted her with Tucker so bad. It was
perfect because he was a grown up person. She was a grown up. It was going to be happily ever after. Boom shakala. No. Then it was the insurance guy. Yeah. Bring him back because he's mayhem.
Yeah.
And she would know to get insurance. So bring back Cassie. I think they can bring him back. And then but they take him away. Then they bring back this guy, and she looks so happy.
And she's so Mariska's such a good actress.
Yes.
That I believed that this guy was the actor from then. I don't think he was the actor.
Yeah.
Like. But the way they did it and the way she played it up, because they never showed what he looked like then. So
they only told the story,
right? So you could see her getting excited for the emotion. Oh. So it was like,
and the nostalgia.
Yeah, you gave her somebody. It's someone she knows,
and he was still like available. It's like, oh, he's now married, and she was like, oh, the love I lost.
Right. She's not playing Happy Homewrecker. Like it's
right. Oh, it was happy. And then no.
And then you said, gotcha.
Let's pull it down. Let's say he's been dating all these girls. So I have to admit, and I knew it couldn't last.
Right.
I knew PD, that episode, was, let's use their word, triggering. Or could have had the potential to trigger.
Right.
No pun intended. because they pow pow. So I wasn't triggered because they did it so beautifully.
Right.
They just told the facts.
Right.
So with this one, I was like, okay, this is good. And so just had to make a left turn. So here's my thing, and I think this is the part that the show was trying to. The reason it ended the way it did, the reason it played this scene up, and we're talking about Craig and all that. But I think this is good for us to talk about the last 23 minutes through this prism. We normally agree, but we disagree at different parts, and I think the audience is the same.
Right.
So they'll hear these sides played out. So when we find out, the fact is he dated a lot of girls or women in his career, whether they were school, whether they were publicists, whether they were assistants, it didn't matter. If they moved and had a pulse and were pretty, he pounced. And so that's what happened.
Right.
They all agree, facts, no rape. And then the line of gray that the show was going with
such a good line of gray.
Was creep versus a manipulator in chief, not because of who he is or his intention, but very left leaning because of his position. Makes it so your intention is irrelevant and immaterial. Now we're going to remove Benson from it because that was clear rape, sexual because of just the age.
Right.
Everybody else was fine. So we put her to the side for a second. But everybody else, the reason all these women came forth was this issue of that they were trying to portray, and then we'll discuss it. He was not evil. He did not rape people. He just is a guy who likes to get some, and so he just wants to go get some, and that's fine. But because of his title with the people he chose, he was always in the superior title on his business card position, and therefore it is not consensual ever because of that power dynamic. What do you think?
So I 100% agree with the show, mostly because it would have been different had the women been the same age as him.
Right. Okay.
But the fact that they were always significantly younger than him, starting out so much so when he was 21, she was 16. Yes, we determined that was statutory.
Yeah, that was.
But if you look at the other lady, he was 50, she was 27.
Yeah.
So you just made the gaps bigger. So to me, it was
like
broader.
Hugh Hefner.
Right. But Hugh Hefner, they seek him out.
Right.
With
but
this guy,
position of power, and
right.
They have to be naked. They have to subject themselves. They have to be humiliated
to determine if that's
he's the power dynamic.
Right.
But it doesn't matter what they want. The show was saying, if you have position,
well,
then how do I really know what I want? Because as Amaro frankly said perfectly, hey, if they're good, they make it sound like it's your idea, Liv.
And so that was my piece, right? So I love that part because I like that even the first girl said it. I like he was a gentleman. Right. She was the issue, or not even the issue, but the reason I realized this was he groomed it, and she didn't even know she was being groomed until she told Rollins, who then Rollins depicted, he groomed her for the summer because he didn't. Right. It was never like I met them and it was done.
Right. Yeah.
It was always. This grooming process, whether it be 3 months or
hit it and quit it,
right? And it was, and even if he didn't do it multiple times, all the times that he was super nice, giving gifts, offering segments, or hey, you know what? Edit this for my friend, like giving them exposure to a field they probably wouldn't have had.
Right.
They're not thinking it's the end goal is he wants to sleep with them.
Right.
But then when that juxtaposition comes upon them. It's like, well, he did further my career. Like, maybe this was intended, and I didn't realize that this was the goal.
That's interesting,
right? So because even that first girl said, she's like he was always a gentleman. It was never forced. It was never.
He was always perfectly fine.
But she didn't say no because she just felt right, and she felt like she owed him something.
Right.
So he kind of always found a way to manipulate it, and that's what kept him. That's what made him a predator to me. Because had he did it with women his own age,
right,
and they felt that way, well, then that's on you. Like, Even if he has a power dynamic and title, there's no power. The age is
so the age
right?
was the determining.
For me, the fact that these girls are so much younger than him,
right?
It was like, well, why would you? Why you go after them? Because they're naive. They're the ones who are less likely to think because they're not exposed to the lifestyle, the career, right?
But could that be? This is so good. This is good because I can see my eyes opening. Oh, that's interesting. I still see another way,
right? And
now I'm fighting. Like somehow I'm always on the
least favorable,
the old white guy train.
It's so funny. When they were talking about it, I was thinking. So I know you guys don't like Cosby. Get over it. But I was thinking to what Cosby said, and he said when the first allegation happened, and he was surprised at how it was sprung on him. He said he was just doing what he saw the other actors his time doing. The thing is, of the other actors his time, he was the only one of color. So he didn't consider himself black or white. He didn't go and think I'm the only black guy. Right. He's like, well, we're both actors who make this much money. They do this and live this lifestyle, so I can do this and live this lifestyle. So that is the exact same this dude. Well, I was just being nice. It was called seducing. But the thing is, people forget, even in seduction, there's deception. So yes, it was called seduction, but you deceive them to some degree because that's why it's seduction and not courtship.
But that's right? The thing with
the ulterior motive was your whole motive is sex.
Yes.
So that's why for him to say that in a position of people that work for you,
right?
That's what makes it the power struggle. You're purposely seducing people who have to report to you.
Right. You're saying take the vaccination or leave the job. So it's very interesting. So now that's good. I see it. I see what you're shooting out. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I receive what you're delivering. I just love all those things. It's good. I'm there. But I see if they're young but adults. Again, we're taking Benson out of the equation,
right?
I mean, we're going to talk to that because everything else with Craig and everything. But anyway, so when that's going on, and he has 20, 30 years on who he's trying to seduce or have sex with or whatever, I see that as that's his type. He likes the naive, the young, the pretty, because they don't have the wrinkles yet. They don't have that. It's a type. Like if he likes blonde hair,
but you're keeping you're keeping it at a surface level, right?
Yeah.
So surface, you're keeping it on what natural laws of attraction.
Yes.
Right.
Only because, and this is why I'm doing it, because the show was very specific. Because the show didn't say, and they could have. It could have been very easy for them to write it this way. This is.
But that's why
they could have said his intention was to take advantage of them because of their naivete,
right?
And get this sex and promise them the world in exchange for whatever. But what the show did, was show that he used a line, which was, "Did it hurt, nigga? What hurt? When you fell from heaven, because you're an angel." And then she goes, "Oh," and he gave me a picture of an angel. And then goes to the next girl, goes, "Oh, he gave me this picture of an angel." And I go, "Oh, hold on. He gave me a picture of an angel. He must therefore ex facto be a rapist, creepist person." So it's like, no, he just used the line. So my thing was, because you didn't go to the intention, the show purposely didn't care.
Right.
Because they said it. Liv said to him when they were having their dynamic, he was getting angry. And just like they say when you're on the stand, the reason they don't want you angry, even if you're right, is because the juror doesn't know whether you're doing righteously indignant or he's available to have violence.
Right.
Right. So they say that. So here he was. I read the scene, which is the part of which is why it's called acting, which is why they left it vague, because they know people are going to take differently from it.
Right.
Which was he's fighting for his name. saying, no, I did nothing wrong. I was just, dating these women or having sex with these women, and I didn't rape. I'm not giving them Jello. I'm not doing any of these crazy things, knocking them out. I'm not hitting them over the head in football fields and stuff like that. I'm saying, oh my gosh, there's a great song, Ipa Nipa. It worked for me, worked for you. Here's your cassette, CD, whatever. Go get it. Let me introduce you to a career advancing person because it was so good. The sex you gave me, I want to help you out somehow. That helps you out. You help me out. It's all. So the intention was that, I want to take advantage. And then Liv said to him, when he said that, she goes, it doesn't matter. You're such and such a position. And these people don't have position. And so I thought, so now you're saying, or are they saying, because you have a position, think of our show. Our show starts to make money. We build this company. All of a sudden, we start raising a team. There's someone on the team, and I go, she's pretty hot, and you have to give her my information because I'm not going to do it. You know me. Right. You're going to have to say no. I just hit send, and then claim I sent it. Like you're just going to have to play what's it called? Keep it. Right. And she goes, well, I felt I had to say, yeah, I want to go to Wendy's. Or where would I take her? I don't know. I'm so out of I don't know. Where do you take them? Cheesecake Factory? Yeah. So she goes, I'm allergic to cheese, cake, and factories. And so, but I went there, and I go, yeah, wasn't it great? We had a good time. Well, actually, I don't like introverts, and I don't like cheese or cake or factories. I'm like, then why did you? And I am feeling, well, why did you agree? Well, because you're the boss. So I mean, if I said no, then you would fire me. I can do that. Who knew? Well, then you're fired. Now it's not awkward on Monday morning. Woo, thank God. She goes, well, no, I would sue you. Oh, well, then no, I wouldn't fire you. So right. So what are they saying? So that's the line. Yeah. That's the great. Because I will say, Dick Wolf is always good about being subtle, right, and hitting both points. Yes, because my thing was, had he just been I didn't do anything and let it be, I didn't do anything, right, then we would have bought this girl was just out seeking some kind of story, right, or she genuinely believed she was manipulated. That's fine right. too. But we would have left it at that, and it would have been right. Yeah. But because he got all angry. Yeah, as you would, wouldn't you? But that's the best part because I'd be the right if someone called me a racist, sexist, homophobe who hates the poor. I would be righteous. I go, that is not true, right? But I'm not allowed to say not true loudly. No, because it's I can say it loudly. Too much, but your loudly can't be in putting them down. Yes, they put me down. Right. I go, you are a heathen. But you're a heathen heifer. It doesn't match because when you come back at them, it's did you hear how he talked to that woman? I sure did. You see what they called me? But they don't ever care what they call the dude. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. That's the problem. So what I like what they did is how they gave you just enough, and they let him hang himself. They didn't make it go to court. They let him. It's all in the public the perception. Opinion. Because each person can perceive it differently. Right. I did initially perceive it as he just because he. My thing was true. Because he didn't. It wasn't like a dating because it was very it wasn't calculated. He was overnighting these hitting and quitting people. Right. And what it was essentially was think about the episode when Stamos was John Stamos was on it, and he was a serial pregnator. Right. So this guy is the level right before that. Okay. Because he's not knocking them up, but he's still serial dating. But the way he's serial dating is very calculated, and it's the reason why it's a manipulative is because he found a formula that worked, and he's using it on every single girl. So that's what makes it more like a predatory behavior because he realized it worked with young girls. Well, so that's a good point too. Then, so let's think about it's one of those things, and how the way you could if he would have just did that with one or two, and that was the case. But then you're saying they don't matter. But here's this thing. With Stamos, that's a very good point. I forgot that whole character. Right. When he did that. But even that, to me, and again, I always find myself on the least. But it's just how my brain is working. Yeah. I was like, good. I mean, he didn't force them to say, bring on the judge. Right. Or put a ring on. They weren't playing Beyonce's song. And I guess to a certain extent, isn't it all manipulation? The girl doesn't wake up and go on the date. They put on a fake face, fake eyebrows, lashes, enhancements to make it look like their boobs are bigger or their butt's bigger, and they put padding or whatever, dress provocatively, because they're saying, hey, I want them to know, I want him to think that I'm slimmer than I am, or bigger than I am, or my hair is straighter than it is, or my eyebrows are actually brows, or whatever it is. They're manipulating to grab the man for sex.
Right.
They're not doing it because they want a job. They're like, oh, I want him to buy me tea, so I'm going to, put the fake lashes on. And he's like, okay, so here's what I have to offer. I can accentuate my access to other people, to advance your career. My brilliant mind. I know women like artistes, ramblings of the mind. So I'll bring up Ipanema and connect you to Ipanema, and we'll Ipanema together because I want sex. So they're both being manipulative,
right?
But because he has a title, the show was, I think,
right.
Was trying to say so. But you're not allowed to play play the game because
it's kind of like
you're playing with position while she's playing with lashes or.
Well, it's kind of like saying, and it's funny because when you say it, it's even funnier.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like one of the reasons most companies, especially Fortune 500 companies, don't allow fraternization.
Right, unless you tell HR.
Right. Like that's exactly why, because of stuff like this. Because even when they went back to his
very true.
Previous editors or previous people he worked for, even they noticed he always kind of went for the young one.
Right. And to that point about them putting the form on, that goes what we were saying in the last episode, which is laws in general are put in because we don't trust each other. So companies listen, we're not trying to monitor the bedroom.
Right. We don't.
So if you're at work and you're a VP of whatever and you're a director of sales, you're on the same level. Do what you're going to do. But if this is your team and they look up to you or they report to you and y'all date, well, we're not going to say it's not allowed because we can't say that. But we will say, listen, if there is a fight thing, we can't protect either one of y'all, so y'all just gonna do it, lose your jobs, whatever it is, unless you tell HR we are in a consensual thing, so we know it's not sexual harassment or whatever.
Even when that happens, which I love about Fortune 500, what they do is it doesn't happen today, it won't happen tomorrow, but within a couple of weeks, somebody will be adjusted, whether it be to another team, another department,
because now the other people
another
on the
direct
team
report
can assume they're getting favoritism.
Right.
They're getting a better schedule.
Right.
They go, well, no, you just suck at your job. I know, but still. That shouldn't matter.
That's the perception.
Because Paul got promoted and he sucks at his job. So you admit that you suck at your job and you just want to, that's life.
Right.
You think all teachers can teach?
Right. So I like how they did that. And then I love how Warner was there.
Yes.
I love Tamara Tooney. She's one of my favorites. I really, really wanted Wong. I just wanted him to say something.
Oh, that's right.
Just pop up. BD, where you hiding at?
That is a good point.
But he's doing acting now. He's been in a couple other TV series.
Well, he needs to do that. I forgot all about him. You're right.
Right.
Well, there was no... And this would have been a good one to psychologize.
Right. Well, you know what else I like, too, is I like how the world was mad that Stabler wasn't in it. So I love how they gave us these flashbacks from season 1.
Well, I can't remember... See, because the show came on, Thursday?
Yeah. It's always been on Thursdays,
Thursday. So I think on Tuesday... Yeah, I think it was Tuesday.
No, I'm sorry. It used to be Wednesdays before, because ER used to be on Thursdays in the early stages.
Yes. Because I think it was this Tuesday or Wednesday when I was tweeting about the new podcast that went up for, I think it was Fire. But whatever it was, I was then, of course, now that you're on Twitter for a second, I'm just kind of looking around real quick before I log off.
Yep.
And something about Kragen. Because I didn't even know this was going to be the 500 episode. And so I'm like, oh, Kragen, what's all about 500? And there was a picture of Liv with the cake by herself. Because when you have $500,000, you don't want no one else sharing your cake. So I said, okay, that's interesting. But that's not a power dynamic at all. So all of a sudden there, see how I did that? Works both ways. But anyway, so I said, oh, the next episode in 2 days or whatever must be a big deal. So I was looking down, and one of the people said something about Cragen and Stabler. They go, if Cragen doesn't mention Stabler, it's over SVU or something.
But why would he?
So then I was like, oh, well, I don't want to dig deeper because now I don't want. I hate knowing outside. I want to say
and that was one of the things that I saw too, because I laughed because I'm like, you guys don't make sense. Cragen was never, hey, I'm leaving and I'm going to follow the thing, because even when he talked to Liv, it wasn't until the second time that he talked to her that he said Captain. So proud to say that
word to you.
Like.
She goes, thank you, Captain.
Right. So, and because even then, they said it earlier and it didn't register because Cragen retired.
Right.
So he doesn't care what Stabler's doing now. He doesn't know Stabler's back unless someone said, hey, Stabler's back. But guess what? He's not in the loop that way.
If you are saying to your captain,
right,
who you've had to, every week she had to be pulled into Cragen's office because she was doing something wrong. She slapped a person who was wrong, who raped somebody, or she hugged a rape victim too long because she loves rape victims or whatever it was. Always being toe-to-toe. And he goes, I'm proud of you. It would bear in mind if the whole 20 years or 15 years, whatever they were together, they were always a duo.
Right.
To be like, I wonder, hey, is Stabler a captain too? I want to be proud of both of y'all. What's going on?
It wouldn't because him and Stabler already fell out before that.
How's Munch or whatever the guy's name was? How's Kat? Did she get killed with a bullet under her vest like I thought? She goes, well, how did you know that? And then the music just goes dum 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 dum. So now you don't know if he's the bad guy. Like you would, because when you're talking with people, wouldn't you kind of say how's the team?
It would be that case, but him and Liv had 3 seasons without Stabler.
Right.
So he wouldn't bring up and ask if Stabler was back because Stabler was already gone then. So unless he's purposely tracking Stabler's career or gotten a newsletter from 1PP about what's going on. But if he's not
tracking, that's why you would. If he was tracking, you don't need to ask because
know. But the thing is, he washed his hands of it. The reason why it made sense with Liv is because when he first talked to her, he just called her Benson. He didn't call her Captain.
Good catch.
Right?
I didn't catch that.
So it wasn't until they said,
when he had more info,
Rollins
when he goes,
said,
the guy really likes
Cragen has more. Cragen said something, he wants you to get in touch with him. He said,
which ends up cracking the case, by the way.
Right.
And saved them from having to go to court.
Yes, because
he
now
he felt really guilty about it.
Make sure he put that girl on the... Yeah. So, but when he said that, when he talked to Liv that second time, he goes, and from what I hear, you're captain? Because when he probably reached out, he probably said Sergeant Benson. Rollins was probably like, oh, no, it's captain. Because she would be the one to make sure you know that's captain.
Okay, that's fair.
And that's why he said, and captain? Because now it was like, wait, how come I didn't know you were captain when you called me or you left me the message?
You know something? I think I'm wearing orthopedic shoes. Because I stand corrected.
I love it.
In the words of Mrs. Doubtfire, the total solution to all of this works perfectly for the movie. Everything goes to Mrs. Doubtfire so perfectly. The only solution is total lifelong celibacy. And if you violate that, heaven help you. Good luck.
The TiVoMike Show is produced by Michael Jefferson. Our soundboard operator is Mike Warner. And our theme music is by Eric Dano. Special thanks to all those who make it so we can be here. And to you, our great listeners. That's it for the TiVoMike Show. We'll see you next week when we guide the lost TV viewing saints through the myriad of banal TV shows amongst low-hanging fruit to find the next great addictive series. Good night.